So good morning. I am Ashley Jane Pepito from Base IT 21 and I'll be discussing the Module 2. These are the common types included. First is desktop platforms, and the characteristic is designed for personal computers. And the example of this is Windows and Linux. Number 2, mobile platforms. Mobile platform has characteristic. It's optimized for smartphones and tablets. The example of this is Android and iOS. Number 3 is cloud platforms. This has also a characteristic, and it provides on-demand computing resources over the internet. And the example of this is Azure and Google Cloud. Number 4, the web platforms. The characteristic of this is internet-based platforms accessible through browser. The example of this is Chrome and Firefox. Number 5, embedded platforms. This has also a characteristic, and it integrates into devices from specific functions and has also a examples and embedded system. This has also a common architecture included. First, client-server architecture. Second, microservice architecture. Third is monolithic architecture. Fourth is service-oriented architecture, or SOA. Five is event-driven architecture. Client-server architecture has a separate client and server functionalities. And the example of this is web application and online games. Number 2 is microservice architecture. It's also a characteristic divides an application into small independent services. The example of this is Netflix. Third is monolithic architecture and has a characteristic that single code base for entire application and has an example of traditional enterprise application. First is service oriented architecture, or SOA. The characteristic of this is organizes functionally into services that communicate. And the example of this is enterprise system. 5 is event-driven architecture and has the characteristic of components communicate through events and has example of real system financially application. Each platform and architecture has distinct advantage and trade-offs, catering to different needs and scenarios. Thank you.